Hi everybody, this is just a quick point and shoot tank tour of what I've got going on. This is an Oceanic biocube 29. I'm new to salt water. I've been in the hobby. I started cycling my tank October 2nd of 2019, so I've been in the hobby just about 9 months. I started this tank with dry rock and the Carib Sea live sand. So I'll just show you quickly what I've got going on. So the tank is now about just over 9 months old. So these are my two clowns. They are captive bred. I got them when they were really tiny. One was just slightly bigger than the other. And yeah, they've been getting along great. I believe the bigger one is now the female one, but they're almost all turning black now. They just have a little bit of orange left on them. That's my cleaner shrimp. His name's Elliot. I just got him a couple weeks ago when I got this wrasse. So I added those two together. I've got 6 fish in total in this tank, and everybody gets along amazingly well. I have my 2 clowns. I have a watchman goby who has his own little cave in the front of the tank. We rarely see him. Sorry, there's a little bit of a reflection from the window, but his cave is in there. This is my mandarin. So he's a psychedelic spotted mandarin dragonette, and I've had him since January. He's doing amazing in my tank. I did stock my tank with pods for several months before I got him, but he also eats brine shrimp, so he eats frozen as well. I feed him 2 times a day for sure, and I make sure that he always eats, but he is also snacking on pods. The colors aren't really popping that well just because I'm having a little bit of sunlight coming through my window, but I've got some GSP that's just like exploded. I have a feather duster. I've had that for quite some time. It's doing well. Some mushrooms. My candy cane coral. This was 2 heads and it's in the process of splitting. It looks like it's going to be 5. So that's doing amazing. I have a toadstool leather. This guy's super happy. This is Cyphastria. I believe it's meteor shower. That's a Jason Fox Paredes. I got that from Candy Corals online. Up here I have some acans. I might move them down a little bit. I've had them in my tank for about a month, but I might move them down slightly lower. I have a bird's nest that I got from a local reefer, a Bali Slimer, an Acropora, just a green one, I'm not really sure of the name, a Miyagi tort, and a Setosa. I have GSP. This is a pipe organ coral. It has a little bit of algae growing in it, but the way that the skeleton is, to pull it out really feels like it's damaging it. So I've just been counting on my hermit crabs to do kind of the dirty work. I have a little bit of bubble algae, but I really just try to do things the natural way in my tank and do things slowly and try not to overcorrect problems. So as long as it's not harming anything, I just kind of honestly leave it be and make subtle changes and see it is slowly going away. I did buy an emerald crab, but he was eating my SPS, so he's unfortunately in my sump. This is my torch coral. I also got that online from Candy Corals. It's pretty happy. I haven't had it very long as well. And that's my hammer coral. In the back I have a Polypora, a small rainbow Monty at the very, very back. And there is also, you can kind of see the little fringes of it, but there's a rock flower anemone back there that's kind of made himself where we can't see him. And that's my tail spot Blenny. He is the main character of the tank. Well, he's the boss of the tank, but he's got a super cool personality. So I've had him, I think I got him in February. He came from the Philippines, I believe. And there's my wrasse. He's super happy. So all my fish get along. They all swim together. There's no aggression. In the front, I almost missed it. I have a plate coral. So this guy, I live in Canada. This guy actually came from my LFS, and he was from the University of Guelph marine biology program. So I'm pretty happy to have him in my tank. He's super bright in the nighttime. Yeah, so that's kind of what I've got going on. It's not perfect by any means, and I'm also not perfect with technology, but I mean, for a beginner, for someone that's just in the hobby, I'm not doing too bad. I don't think. I did battle with cyanobacteria for several months, and then I just made very small changes, like reduced feeding, changed my lights up a little bit. I added some more flow. I moved my rocks a tiny bit, and I'm glad to say that I've finally beaten it, at least for the time being. Yeah, so that's what I've got going on. I hope you enjoy the video. If there's any beginners out here, I was really intimidated to start a saltwater tank. I've had freshwater tanks for many years. I always wanted a saltwater tank, and I saw everything I'd read. I was just kind of intimidated. People would say, like, oh, if you can't burn $100 bill without crying, don't even bother. But I think I've been pretty successful. Yeah, so I haven't really had any fish losses. I haven't really had any major coral losses. I've had a couple things that didn't do great where I had them, so I moved them around. But overall, the main thing is just being on top of your maintenance, and I do test my alkalinity every single morning before I go to work, and then I manually dose if I need to. Check my salinity and everything else, like all my other calcium, magnesium, phosphate. I check that all once a week when I do my water changes, and I do water changes 10 to 15% every week religiously. So I don't know. So far I'm loving the hobby, and I love all the creatures that I have in my tank. I've got 6 blue leg hermit crabs. I was really hesitant to add any crabs to my tank, but honestly I think that they have helped with just the overall. I never really had any algae problems, but I do feel like if there's any leftover food, they snatch it up kind of thing, so it's not decomposing and causing any spikes. And then I also have a scarlet hermit that is a pretty good algae eater. But that's all I've got for now. This is just a simple point and shoot video. Like I said, I'm not a technology whiz. I don't have an amazing filter on my phone for the colors, so they might not be popping as well as some of the other videos you might watch. But for someone that's watching that's new and thinking about getting into saltwater, 100% do it. It's so much fun. Thanks for watching.